What is going on, guys? It is Dylan here. Today, we'll be going over a ticker symbol analysis on the ticker symbol BBAI, Big Bear AI Holdings, guys. We are seeing Big Bear break down from this massive ascending support, which has held the stock up for roughly around 50% of the last month or so of daily candles, guys. We're seeing it break below, but we're seeing it start to curl back. It could be a potential bear trap situation where short sellers could get squeezed out of their position, or to play devil's advocate, could be a consolidation for a likely test of 350. We remain completely unbiased, guys, throughout the video today, jumping across a couple different time frames using technical analysis techniques to get a price prediction, levels to watch, and much more, guys. Let's get straight into the video. On the weekly time frame, guys, we have seen a very predictable pattern in BBAI, Big Bear AI Holdings, guys. Stock price emerges, start to get volume, reemerging in the market, sorry. And this is the number one thing you want to see for these short squeeze kind of stocks, right? In the past, when we go over here, you see a little bit of volume creep up over here for a big move up, right? A very sizable movement, guys, being around 150%. Let's zoom in the past. Let's keep looking. Once again, guys, you see a nice big bar of volume emerge on this candle for ultimately rising 870%. That doesn't mean we have to do that, but if you can get a fraction of that movement, we're looking at some major upsides. So you see stock very predictably rise up. See the bars of volume creeping in, right? Consolidating, eventually breaking the top and getting that breakout, guys, of around 150%. So to see stock price reverse so hard, guys, being just so beat up, just think about it logically. Would you want to short somewhere over here? Obviously, hindsight's 2020. We'd all want it. Would you want to short here? Would you want to short here? Or would you want to short when stock price is beat down 80% from the highs and in another consolidation, right? Very simple technical analysis technique 101, but there's not nearly as much risk reward for the sellers in this area, right? We do this clear sending support on the weekly, which is being threatened, but we will jump to that on the daily to see a better perspective. But as of now, guys, we're still in this energy building phase, which in the past has given us that upside. We've yet to see this consolidation lead to downward. So, we'll jump on the smaller time frames to get more of the short-term indication, but seeing volume continue to arise, guys, ascending very nicely. The current weekly bar is not done forming as of now, as there's only one day into the current weekly candle. But as of now, we're seeing buyers step up higher, step up higher, step up higher, step up higher, and we're potentially seeing that red to green reversal. As the market typically moves in phases, right? It goes up, it goes sideways, and goes up. And what comes down must come up, guys. So to see this big movement down, it's very obvious that there's a whole lot more room to the upside than the down. With that being said, on the weekly time frame, we do remain bullish as of now until we clearly break down from this ascending support. We're moving in the right direction, and we're seeing a lot of bullish divergence being this ascending volume profile and coming right back down to this former consolidation and being very disciplined. So very simple analysis on the weekly, guys. We don't want to look too long on this with these stocks like AMC, GME, BBAI, these short squeeze kind of stocks. We get most of our analysis on the daily and hourly. So let's go jump over to the daily. On the daily time frame, guys, the number one measurement for BBAI. Once again, if you had to delete every single one of these data points, arguably it could be this consolidation on the weekly, which is very important, of course. But as far as a short-term perspective, it's definitely this ascending support, guys. The stock gets a big move up, gets kind of far from this ascending support, but comes right back down, forming these very beautiful hammer candles, signifying a bounce. We move up. Once again, getting a little bit extended from the trend line, coming right back down. Beautiful consolidation to a nice big move. Right, once again, getting a little bit extended, rejecting off this 450 important level, coming right back down. And it appeared that we had the bounce with this nice big green bar, but we ultimately did start to close below. Something notable with the last 3 daily candles, guys, is that they have progressively flipped bullish. If there's any opportunity for the sellers, it would be this 450 resistance. Be keeping an eye on, but number one is when you break this very obvious ascending support. So to see a pretty nasty bar, right, flipped red after a nice green bar volume, a nice push up from the ascending support, and then it completely flipped. This should be the opportunity where sellers are going to step in. It's right here, guys. It's right here. So the next candle Open slightly higher, right? Still being a bearish candle, rejecting off this ascending support. But the next one got even more bullish, guys. So we're seeing a progressive flip over the last 1, 2, 3 days. So far, sellers are not able to take control. If we get a short-term support, being that really 380, if you want to be very safe, let's say 379. It's there on the side of caution. If we break this very clear low, guys, the stock price came up in the past, came up, we dropped. Came all the way down, came up, we dropped. Came up, got the breakout, came down, tried to test it, ultimately falling beneath it, consolidating for a long time, right? Bouncing on this level, and that's where we've currently found support, guys. So if we collapse from here, this will be the short-term indication where we should move lower in the short term, where we remain completely unbiased on the channel. And that's one of our strengths, guys. As a technical analyst, you don't want to be bearish. Sorry, you don't want to be biased. So if we do break that level, it should be a very clear flush. I don't think it's, very controversial. I think we should be, definitely short-term bearish, but we will see how these support levels hold down here. But as of now, guys, we're holding this level quite nicely. This could be a 101 bear trap. And we say it all the time on the channel, guys. When you see a nice strong bounce off a key level and it looks like everything's going good, the buyers are in control, but then it flips bearish. Typically, that's where you see the most reversals as you trap all these bears, but it could be a bull trap into a bear trap. Some more advanced technical analysis, guys, but really a simple concept if you think about it. So as long as we hold here in base, right, of course, we want to get over and regain this ascending support. Of course, best case scenario for the buyers, we just boom, we reclaim it with strength. We liquidate these bears in this position and we move up higher for a squeeze. We're much more neutral than the weekly, just being that we haven't quite broken over this ascending support. We're showing bullish divergence with the volume and holding this level strong. But as of now, we remain neutral, guys. Let's remain data oriented. If we can reclaim, really being that $4 psychological level and hold strong, we should be able to get above this ascending support. And I'm telling you, this concept, guys, is so true. We talked about this on Bitcoin. Jump over there for 30 seconds or so. We mentioned we broke down from this pennant before squeezing right up. We mentioned on the channel, guys, we get over 106,000. We're going to see a massive movement. And look at it. This continual trend is something where over the years and years and years, it just really lets you know where stock can go. So seeing BBAI break a very, very clear ascending support and challenge this very threatening 379 level, but immediately start to get pretty thin, it definitely is more probable that we will get that false breakdown into these higher levels. But as of now, despite having that bias, let's remain short-term neutral. So long-term on a weekly, once again, we do remain bullish, seeing this convergence, but on the daily, remain neutral. BBAI has been a very, very predictable hourly analysis and great risk to reward for these short-term traders. As in the past, we've seen a very, very similar formation to what is occurring right now with multiple different touch points. When we look in the past, we had this very, very obvious, clear descending resistance. We clearly were forming out this flag into this ascending support, and we got the nice bounce, guys, getting that very nice movement up around 40%. Once again, guys, this one not as glamorous, but we did this clear descending resistance back down into this ascending support, and you've seen a pretty nice movement until we did double top in this area, but it's still having an 18% sizable movement. As of now, we are seeing, not a bull flag, more or less a descending triangle, being the floor at that 379, once again confirming how key this level is, starting all the way on this big liquidity movement. We consolidated at this level, come down, reject, down, reject. You get the point, guys. Back and forth, momentarily, false break, right? Come up, confluence again, reject. And right now we're getting really, really tight, guys. We're within the apex of the structure. So although consolidation is a potential play out, we do believe that there's a lot more likely chance that you do see that hard flush below 379, or ultimately, which we have seen in the past, the squeeze to the upside. So being that history does often repeat itself, especially with these high-flying, short squeeze kind of stocks, we definitely lean to the break of this apex to the upside, ultimately reclaiming this ascendant support. But with that being said, guys, look how tight we are within the apex. Once again, whenever we get to this very, very tight area, we make a move. Whenever we get to this very, very tight area, we make a move. So that's the number one thing we're going to watch in the hourly, guys. Momentarily getting a false breakout over doesn't invalidate this trend. If anything, flipping right back beneath it, using as resistance and moving back down lower, further validates it. In conclusion, guys, BBI is in a very, very massive spot. Despite seeing sellers step in and momentarily dropping beneath, it does appear to be more of a false breakdown, a potential short squeeze to the upside, eventually retesting these higher levels more or less than a breakdown. But let's remain data oriented, guys. If we flush 379 hard with strong bearish momentum to the downside, we should easily be able to move down to 350 within that context. So to see eventually from that point if buyers can step up. But what I do think is a lot more likely, guys, based off the data we did run over today, we do get that quick short squeeze up and eventually come up and retest these levels to eventually maybe break out of this weekly consolidation, which is a very, very important data marker. If you found any value out of the video, guys, consider liking and subscribing. We'll continue to cover BBAI either 1 to 2 times a week. It really just depends how you guys respond to the videos. But with that being said, have a good day, guys. Take care, trade smart, and peace.